something that I know that people that I feel slightly discredited is that when people are like, we found this unicorn, Jason, and they say that I am this character, but I'm not that character. I just worked my goddamn fucking arse off so that I could do that, and you think that I am that person.
Filmmaker Magazine presents Back to One with Peter Rinaldi.
Jason Patel is an actor. He sat down with me on the Upper West Side of Manhattan to talk about the work.
Do you have a typical way that you like to begin your preparation process when you get a new character?
Well, I want to make sure that I know the lines. I always say I'm quite organized in my normal life. So I thought, okay, let me organize this life of this person. So I'll go through the script and I will notate like it's my diary and, you know, what I've got to know. And I'll make sure that the first thing I think the first job of an actor is to know your lines. And that's me coming from a theatre background and theatre training and, you know, an acting school. It's just that discipline that I've had because you've got to know your lines, you know. It kind of frees your fingers, frees your hands, frees your body. And when you have all that in there, you can let it go.
Yep.
You know, and I think you put in some sort of rhythm. One thing I do is I figured out the way I learn lines or script is that I will record it, the whole thing, or scene by scene, and I'll play it back as if it's a piece of music, and I'll know them within 5-10 minutes. Like I'll just do it on repeat. I know my lines, I know their person.
Just your lines or their lines
Both.
too? Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll know them because I want to know the whole thing. You need to know your cues. You need to know everything that's going on in the scene. But once you have that information, all the answers are in that information. So then you can kind of let it go and just be. And it kind of takes you out of a rhythm too.
Yeah.
Because you've set a rhythm that you learn to, but then you also can go against that grain. So it gives you like scale to explore and find that thing. And I also think what was the reason why I kind of first got into it? Well, I used to like look at myself in the mirror and like act with myself or perform or whatever it was. So I always try and just kind of incorporate that kind of like child's play like energy because it's fun.
Yeah.
Then the next thing I do is that I soundtrack the whole thing for the character. So like I'll have a song for every single scene, you know, or like that kind of moment that I think this encompasses the emotional environment. It's not just one emotion, because that like in every scene, everything goes on a journey, but this encompasses that kind of spark or that energy of the level of gravitas that you need to kind of bring to it, or like energy.
So the song actually represents the tone of the scene. Like it's just kind of like
sonically, yeah.
Sonically, yes.
Yeah. And it might be like a scene that I know that I need to just hone in. So I might have like some really like crazy, you know, like rock song on or something, or, you know, or the next scene might be like an argument, but I actually feel like it might need like a really chill Jeff Buckley song. It's very personal to me. Yeah. And just like whatever I need. Because like before I shoot a scene, like I'll put headphones in and I'll listen to that song and I'll just close my eyes and I'll be in it and in it and in it. And as soon as they say, like, Jason, we need you on set, I'll take them out. Yeah. I'll open my eyes and I'm there.
It's a quick way again right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I also do like really physical things. So I guess it's like learn the lines, sound, like I always do body, mind, soul. That's my 3 things. So I need everything to be like fully inherently in my body. So I'll do like, I work out quite a lot. I'm really into, just because I want to feel connected to my body from head to toe. So, you know, I'll do like press ups or sit ups or whatever to be in the scene, because it actually pumps that blood around you. Mm-hmm. So you can feel like, oh, okay, my hands are waking up. Just wake up, like, look, we're all in check and we're all on the same level, on the same page. Mm-hmm. We're ready to go into this. We are, you know, and that way I'm not going in with like a rehearsed performance. Yeah. Every single time. I'm going in that I'm bouncing off the person that's there. Yeah. What are you giving me? Yeah. And how can I like Dragon Ball Z Kame and give it back to you, right? Because I don't want to shut you off. I don't want to be like, and I don't want to give them like something that's just like a dead wall. Yeah. I want to see you. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people they probably love it. You can love it or hate it, but I can look at someone in the eye because I love eye contact. It's the window to the soul. Everyone says that, but truly is the place that you lock in with someone and you have this, and then like your belly button to me is a tether to yours, and it's we're in, you know. That's it. That's how we talk. That's how we move. That's how we shape in so many different aspects. And that's one-on-one scene, but you can have that with, you know, ensemble. It doesn't matter the amount of people, you know? That's kind of how I approach everything.
I've heard you say that you approach everything in life with creativity.
Yeah.
You're not just an actor, you have multiple arts that you engage in, but it's almost because you approach all of life creatively that it makes your acting better because of that. Am I right?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I you know, that was a reflection that I had like in the last couple of years, but it's the sense that I wouldn't be a great actor if I wasn't doing music. And I wouldn't be a great musician if I wasn't acting. Yeah. You know? And I read this book that blew my mind called The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. And if you're an actor, an artist, whoever you are, you should read that book because it kind of talks about how creativity is not exclusive and how just doing the act of like planning your route to work, you know, is a creative act in itself, you know? You get up in the morning, going to the shower, brushing your teeth, all of it is a creative act. You're doing something. And I remember when I was at drama school and I was studying, what is the first thing you make? When you're born, what is the first thing you make?
Poopy?
You poop. Exactly. You shit. And you're like, wow, mum, dad, look what I made. Yeah. I made this amazing mess that stinks, that's green, that's whatever it is, you know? And I put it on a blank canvas of a nappy if you have a nappy on, you know? And you're going everywhere. Yeah. So, and I think that's insane. That's incredible. I make stuff. I was making stuff before I knew it. Yeah. We all were. Yeah. And I think I just locked into that sense of like, okay, I'm understanding what I'm taking from all these things that I'm doing, and I can put it all and I can harness that energy. I had so much energy as a kid. I was so naughty. Like I was so naughty. Like it was wild. And my parents were like, what are we going to do with you? Like even all my family were like, oh, they're still naughty. And I was like, no, I just have this energy that people don't know where to place. But I know it's because I needed to like have this electricity from my fingertips out. Because I just don't think it's ever about, for me, it's never about me. It will always be about other people. I don't do it just for me. I do it for everyone else. Because my goal in life is to make people happy when I'm not there. That's my life goal. It's my life motto. I knew that since I was a kid, and I knew that I wanted to perform. I didn't have a lot of privilege in my life, but I had that. And that's always stuck with me. And I think for me, when I was a child, when I went to school, it took me a lot because I was like one of 3 brown people at my drama school. I was like, I know that I come here so that I can say what I want to say, how I want to say it, and when I want to say it. And if I have autonomy over those things, I'm like, okay. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And not everything, you know, when you're an actor, when you're a working actor, you're just graduating and you're growing in this industry, like you take every job under the sun. And people are like, I don't want to be a waitress. I don't want to work in a bar. I don't want to do this. I don't want to work in a bank, like whatever it is, or an office job. I'm like, but all of those things feed into your work. Yes. They are investments for you. No one is going to pluck you off the street with your headphones in, sing your songs or sing off the street and be like, I'm going to give you $1 million record deal. I'm going to make you the lead role in my film. Right. You know? Right. If you don't even invest 1 cent into yourself, no one. And we don't all come from like a privilege, and I'm talking monetary as just an example, as a theory, but in the sense like, what things are you doing to invest in yourself, that you care about yourself, that you want to make yourself a better person, or do the things that so you have the confidence in yourself to do these things or give them. And if you don't, then like, let's learn. Yeah. I've always been that kid that's like forced my parents to like send me to places even without them. So I did loads of summer schools and I spent loads of time in the US and I've been everywhere. And I guess that's very apparent when my voice changes quite a lot. But I just learned loads of things. I think I was just so like, I'm a geek. Like I am a nerd inherently, and I would say I have a thirst for knowledge. Like me being around things and wanting to learn so much informs me about all these different perspectives that I can put into, you know, a role. Into a piece of music, into something I want to write. Maybe it'll take me into directing. I remember like my acting teacher at school, he made us like act, direct and write and like choose scripts and things like that for like specific like semesters. And he said, to be a good actor, you need to learn to direct. And to be a good director, you need to learn how to act or put yourself in those shoes, because you know how to speak to each other. You know how to talk. You're able to learn and create the language that you need to be able to communicate and put across what you want, because a lot of this stuff is in our heads and it's so hard to splurge that out without, because it can be really frustrating. And I think that is like, we're having that like pre-discussion about how people don't know how to talk to each other.
That's right.
But the intention is there.
Yep.
And it works both ways, right? They're like, ah!
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's just start on simple layman terms.
And that's so important too, because when you realize like, it's not just about how a director talks to an actor, it's also about how an actor talks to a director and communicates what they need back. And you know,
because it's all love. It is all love, but people execute it in different ways. And not everyone knows every person's way. Well, we can't ever know, but not everyone can process the way that someone's trying to communicate their love. Because you can have a straight face and people think you're really upset, but actually inside you could be the happiest person. You'd be like, I'm smiling. You know?
What do you do when you deal with people in any creative endeavor, either on a set or a musician that's helping you or something, and they're blocked up, or they're leading with something other than love, or they're just not responding to you in a way you feel like you can't get to them?
I think you just kind of have to strip it back to basics a little bit. And actually we can all read like each other's like energy or what someone's giving off, and I always know it's not personal. And it's not that deep. I genuinely know. Like I said before, it's not about me. It will never be about me. And I like don't even have hate for anyone in the world, because it takes up too much like brain fog or space in your body. So I know it won't happen for that person. But all you can do is be like, I'm here. I do this thing where everyone on set, you know, whether I'm first on the call sheet or not, but from Unicorns, I was like, I need to show what kind of person I am. I used to come to set early and knew everyone's name, all crew, all production. I used to give everyone a hug and say good morning. And I've done that since that job. I used to do that before in theatre. I do it then, I do it now. Because it shows, it levels a playing field, it's respectful. And also sometimes a simple thing is like, hey, what do you need? You know? And actually, sometimes they might just need they might not need you. They might just want you to just be present with them. You don't need to say anything, because sometimes you don't have to.
That's right.
And then most of the time, actually, I think you probably don't have to. I like to always I always feel like if you get in like in a different creative endeavor, like if we're a bit blocked up, I'm like, let's go to a field, let's take our shoes off and let's go for a walk. Let's put our feet on the ground and touch the earth. And people, the stress that comes out of their toes, out of the balls of their feet is wild.
I bet. That's actually a beautiful thing.
It sounds so like in the air, but honestly, like I hate wearing shoes. I love walking around barefoot.
It's returning us to our ancient
it's
time.
freeing. But also people forget that like our feet are the things that like carry the most weight. They hold us up, you know? And so actually giving them a breather like
that's so
like
true.
just shocks the wave. I always think of it like when you get like a bunch of flowers and you have to cut them and put them in water and they instantly blossom because like water just like trickles through them.
You know? It's like giving yourself some water there.
Yeah, hydration station, right?
Yeah, that's right. Were you always, all this time, trying to get acting jobs, or were you such a multi-artist that you were just, leading with your passion and letting yourself follow your bliss?
I mean, I wish it was the latter. But honestly, like, I'm not even gonna, like, sugarcoat it. I'm brown. I'm gay. Like, who the fuck is gonna give me a job? Mm-hmm. Who the fuck thinks I'm financially viable?
Mm-hmm.
And that really hurts me. But I'm also that person that doesn't take no for an answer. So I'll shut down the doors.
Yeah.
Sorry, not shut down the doors.
Knock down.
I will knock down the doors.
Yes.
I'm gonna lock it even more for you. No. Yeah, I remember I had this really, I learned very early on. I grew up, I became independent really early, and I learned a lot from a kid and just had a really strong sense of the world from seeing how hard my parents worked and how difficult their upbringings were and the things that they sacrificed, and my grandparents and the people before all sacrificed so that I could literally just have like an ounce of opportunity to do what I love. I don't come from this is the thing, I don't come from a creative family.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Not one, they're all really operational in the sense that like they have to do things to survive and help provide some sort of opportunity. And I remember when I told my mum and dad like I wanted to sing and act and stuff, and they were just like, we don't know how to help you, but we'll try.
Yeah.
So my mum was looking in directory books, or like she would go and ask my school teacher like what like acting, like is there like a Sunday school or a weekend school or an evening school when I was a kid, or do singing classes. And that's why I ended up going to the church and singing in the choir and learning all these like hymns and these songs, because that was my way in. I didn't know any other way.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid, you're so naive. And I just remember thinking like, I'm looking at the television screen, or I went to go saw like a Christmas show, the Nativity, and I thought that should be me.
Yeah.
And that is me. And it doesn't matter what I look like. Like, I know if I'm on there, everyone is going to have a good time. Everyone is going to have the best time, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a, fast forward, working, training. I remember when it was like time to do like agents and stuff. And I remember I got an agent, and everyone gets jealous when they're in their like final year of school. And I remember my friend that I lived with at the time, and who was my best friend, we were at school together. Her version of this is she doesn't remember, but people have this fake amnesia. But I will never forget it when she was like, you only got an agent because you're brown and gay.
Wow.
And that was my best friend at the time. And I just thought from that moment on, yeah, okay, thanks. And I just remember seeing it in schools, like me and two other brown kids in the whole of this, like, drama school, acting school, whatever you want to call it. And it was an incredible school. I love it, and I appreciate that school so much.
Yeah.
It taught me so much. I went to Rose Bruford and U Arts in Philly. And for me, I think when I left, I knew that I wanted to stay in London for a while. So what am I going to do? I have to get all these jobs. I need to work. I need to do this. I need to do that. So I can be here, so I can audition. I can show people. I can connect with people, because I felt really alone in the city that I was from, because the music that was the art that was made there felt like it was like not for me, or that I wasn't allowed in for all sorts of reasons. And so I had to go somewhere else to, like, I really became an artist when I was in London. Like, I found my sound, I found my voice there, and I found it in America, and which I'm so blessed by, which is why I call New York my second home.
It's so important to find where you feel like you can deliver your art from you, right? That's so hugely important, right?
Or where I can just feel like I can like grow.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean being a big star. It will in so many people's eyes, but like, I guess it just makes you feel confident as a person.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like you're a fully rounded human.
Yeah.
And that you can live your life and you have things that make you happy, and you know, you can put food on the table no matter however you do it.
Yeah.
You know, but you're like, okay, I am secure in all these areas of my life, or I'm growing to those things.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing and I'm learning stuff.
Yeah.
And I really found that sense, you know, after drama school. So I remember I told my agents, they were like, well, not the ones I have now, but like my first agents, you know, how they were like, they were really passionate, and they were like, let's just put it out into the world and see what lands back. And so I ended up starting doing a lot of theatre.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept going for TV. I was like, when am I going to get a TV job? When am I going to get a TV job? And I was auditioning, but no one called me back. And then it grew and grew and grew. And then I always used to get to the final two. And then I ended up just taking the job as playing Mowgli in the Jungle Book for like 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was a brown boy with no clothes on stage that had a hot body, that was me, honey. With a great voice. Because I could do everything, and I could go like to different parts of the country and tour and things. And then Unicorns came about, and I was like, this is the one.
And how did that come about?
So I was submitted as an audition for my agent, but I didn't get one. So I found they were doing an open call, and my friend sent it to me. And he was like, you need to apply for this. So I literally made an introduction videotape being like, hi, I'm Jason. I'm the person you need for this role, basically.
Wow.
Like, this is who I am. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I DM'd James Krishna Floyd on Twitter at the time. And they sent me a tape to do. I did the tape within an hour because I was moving from one venue to another. And lo and behold, they liked it. And I did like a Zoom call, and we like talked through the script and things. And then I did a screen test, which was quite intense. I did a performance. We and Ben met, did all these scenes. We did improv. And I think it was just from that moment that everything kind of fell into place. I also fought so hard, like tooth and nail. Like I would rehearse in a tiny bedroom for like a drag performance that, you know, I'd never done drag before in my life, but I knew how to do makeup because I had to learn how to do makeup for theatre shows. And I loved expressing myself through like makeup and things like that when I was kind of finding my like gayness and stuff when I was like when I was like a late teen, and figuring out, okay, I'm trying to understand, like exploring my masculine and feminine energy, you know, and finding that balance. So it's great because all these kind of factors things that I'd gone through in my life, they kind of was like, okay,
together.
I can use all of these things here, you know. And I think something that I know that people that I feel slightly discredited is that when people are like, we found this unicorn Jason, and they say that I am this character, but I'm not that character. I just worked my goddamn fucking ass off so that I could do that, and you think that I am that person.
I want people to hear that like that, because that's called acting.
Yes.
Like in the end, because we don't know you, we think, oh, they just found this person somewhere.
They're like, and because I guess like I am the only person to play that role, but it's because I had all these other skills that I worked on my whole goddamn life. Like I didn't just like learn to play the saxophone so I could play Aysha in Unicorns.
Right.
You know, I wanted to play the saxophone because there was a jazz orchestra at school, and I wanted to play jazz orchestrations of Prince and Michael Jackson, honey. That's why I picked up the saxophone and learned it in 6 weeks, because I was just passionate about like making stuff and being a part of something that brings people like I think community is at the heart of everything that I do, and representing people and showing that like everyone when they're younger knows what it's like to not feel included.
Yeah.
Everyone's felt bullied at one. Even a bully has felt bullied, right? And I don't want anyone to ever feel left out. That's who I am, and that's what I do. That's why
fuels
I act.
everything.
That fuels everything. I have a good intention behind it all, and I think sometimes people can get like, it is beautiful being like, I'm here for the art, and you can get so into this, but fuck me. Like I just just make people smile. Look how shit the world is out there. Like,
Yes.
Don't deny it.
Yeah.
Even the people think that they're happy that whatever's going on, even they're not happy.
Yeah, that's right.
They're probably more unhappy.
Yeah.
And if I could put a smile on your face, great. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be a stand-up comedian. God, no. God, I am funny. It's like funny to laugh at. Ha ha, not funny to laugh with. But in a sense, yeah, those are the things that fuel me. And every role that I go into, I just approach it like that.
Yeah.
Because then, like, and that's why I'm really like excited to do so many different things and so many different roles. And my incredible team that I have now, you know, they're so passionate about me like finding the things that I want to do. And I like won't just take any other like job offer that comes my way, or will look at it.
Yeah.
And I've said no to a lot of stuff.
I'm sure.
Sometimes I'm like, I really shouldn't. But I want to have a choice.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that, like, I want to be a legacy actor.
Yeah.
Like, I came here to do iconic shit.
Yeah.
I didn't come here to, like, piss around and, like, sit on a bench, you know? And I came here because I know I have, like, greatness in me. And that sounds so poncy. God, that sounds like I'm trying to scam people.
But everybody does.
But everybody does.
Has greatness in them, right?
Yeah, I had this, I think from like, God, now you're going to think I'm really kooky. But I was born on the 3rd of July, on the 3rd day at 3:33. And my name spells out Jason from July, August, September, October, November.
Oh my God.
And my auntie, so in Hindu culture, when you're born, if your father has an older sister, the priest comes and tells you from the scientific astrology, like Hindu astrology, what name you're supposed to pick from, like what is a good look name, gives great prosperity, etc.
Yeah.
As they do in all different faiths. And they go, Jay, and she just goes, oh, Jason. You can't tell me that's not, you
That's
know.
crazy. That's crazy.
I think everything was always just aligning, and that people are like, how are you so creative? And I just think, I don't know, when I was born, I think it just sucked the creative energy out of my parents and what was left.
Yeah.
Because they were always like, how is that your child? And they were like, we don't know. But he's great, you know, and I love them.
Yeah.
We're all really opposite, but we have something to give.
Can you guess what floor we're on right now?
3rd.
Yes. Did you know that?
No. But I felt it.
How much did you know about unicorns when you did that first tape?
Obviously on their little like open call flyer, it was like South Asian drag queen, like performer.
Did you know it was going to be a love story?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I do love really well because like I just give love to everything. So I just I knew
every story is a love story.
Yeah, it
for
is.
you, right? I mean that.
Everything is. Yeah, it's a love story.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do is give love out. I've got too much of it. So I remember I got the scenes and I was like, okay, we like struggled for time. I just learnt them. My younger cousin, who I inspired to be an actor, like came over to my parents' house and we just like filmed the scene in my garage and sent it off.
Didn't worry about it too much.
No,
because you didn't have enough time.
I just wanted to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what all scripts like are like craving.
Yeah.
Honesty.
Yeah.
And sometimes like James and Sally say, the best acting is not acting.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But I think that's like a good way of saying like, let it go.
Yes.
Because acting isn't exclusive. Acting isn't this thing that you obtain. It's just a skill. It's a skill of learning how to use your body and be present in the moment. You know? I always say the greatest acting lesson I have, which I guess probably everyone says I'm a good actor, but I just think I'm good at being in the moment, you know? Mm-hmm. And having technical ability that just gives me, you know, it's like giving a fact without having actually all the data and the research.
Oh, that's an interesting analogy. You know? That's interesting.
It's like saying something without having any context.
Yeah.
But I know I make sure I have the context. At school, I used to learn, like, we used to do like psychology lesson. Like at acting school, we did psychology. We did so much contextual work. We did so much history, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I remember we were doing like, I want to know, okay, this place, this script, Unicorns is set in this part in London. I want to know what's going on in the town.
Yeah.
I want to know. how does the political climate, how does the socio-economical climate, how does the streets, like how does that all inform how you are as a person, how you walk, how you talk, you know, where you put your head, where you place yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Because, for example, like Aysha doesn't go straight down the street like,
right,
you know?
Right.
She's covered because she lives in an area that like, it's like you have to protect yourself because you don't know what's coming around the corner.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You don't know who's going to stop their car and like say something to you or throw something at you.
Right.
You don't know if like someone's going to clock you.
Right.
In the same way that Ashik back home is sober and leads with his head down, always looks down, never looks up. Will never
that
look
changes
up.
things.
Yeah, it changes
it
because
changes,
you should bring, if you bring your, me as a person, I will never put my head down. God no, wouldn't let someone ever dare me. But, and that's, I've learned that behavior because you want to look up, you want to see everything that's there. And sometimes we always get told, or women especially, always have to keep their head down because they need people, they need these to be shut off from other people from connecting with you, your eyes, you know? And that kind of just informs how you move your body and your language.
Yes.
You know, everything kind of falls in place.
Right. So
And
that,
trust your body as well.
right. And that fact actually changes everything about the character in every scene in a way, right?
Where they feel comfortable and where they don't.
Right. That's interesting.
Because inside their home, they are a different person when they're literally 10 feet away outside their door.
Exactly. Were you, so you're, you know, we're getting the idea that you lead with love. You could find the love in anyone, but were you worried about who this person was going to be that you had to play opposite of, that you, in this love story? Were you ever worried about like, who, you know, am I going to be able to actually have chemistry with this person?
I guess that's why we do chemistry tests.
Yeah. And was it at that moment where things connected?
I mean, even before we started doing scenes, I mean, me and Ben came in and we said hi to each other, and then I think we just started like laughing and joking about stuff. Which was really nice because I think it just demystifies things. I always say, obviously, Ben is a very established and successful actor, and that will be so intimidating to a lot of people. But I'm also that person that's like, if I haven't met you, I don't know you. Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I always say, like, if you weren't this, like, what would you be? Like, if you weren't an actor, if you weren't this, what would you be? Because I knew that, like, if I wasn't doing acting or singing or whatever, I would want to be an astronaut. And then I realized that was not my destiny. But I was just fascinated by, I think, what was really exciting about being an astronaut or also being in a submarine. I don't know what you call that person. But submarine person.
Yeah.
Is that like you go to these extreme parts of the world, to the unknown, because I will not live my life in fear. I remember like one of my like really random jobs was like as a dog walker and trainer. And God, it was the best time of can't be able to say it was the best time. It was one of the best times of my life. Like I used to wake up really early and get to walk like 10 dogs and take them on a field, and I'd let them off their leash, some of them. And God, just like being around them because they're so present and they won't lie to you. Yeah. And
that's got to be rejuvenating, right?
It just taught me so much about like how you can talk without talking. Words aren't everything though.
That's right.
The things that are incredible in this film are the things that are not said too.
That's right. And was that all in the script or was that discovered on the set? Was that?
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
And especially our chemistry test, James and Sally would give us like different like directional notes like in each other's ear, and we'd go with it. And they'd give us times where we'd use, James always says the script is like a blueprint, which I thought was amazing because it felt like we were going on a mission. Yeah. And nothing ever goes to plan. Yeah. But there is beauty and there is gems that are found when things happen.
Sure.
And I think because me and Ben had this symbiosis and we're locked in and we have the same mindset of how we work, it was, I don't want to say it's divine timing because it's not just all that, but we listened to each other and we looked at each other, and also we took time and everyone's always in a rush.
Yeah.
And I felt what was so beautiful in that chemistry test was we gave space for each other to breathe. And we didn't say anything that we didn't believe. And that was the biggest piece of direction, the best piece of direction that like Sally and James gave me when I was on set, because I had to kind of find my way in the first day or so, just because like it is a lot. And I had been on sets before, but like being the first like is a lot of pressure. So having to carry that weight, but also like not have to carry it because it's not my burden to have in that moment.
Yeah.
And actually I had to reframe it in the sense that I'm not carrying any pressure. All these people, they're behind me and they're holding on to me and they're holding my hand and they're saying, we want you to be the best that you can be. Like, we're here for you. And if you fall, I'm going to pick you back up.
That's huge.
It is so, I think people just forget that like everyone is there to make sure that you can be the best. That's why like, even in like casting or whatever, people think there's a block. I'm like the casting director.
They want you to be the one. They want you to be the one.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm here to make your life easier. I always say that. How are you? And I'm like, I'm here to make your life easier. Let's see.
Let's get this job over with.
I'm good. I'm having a great day and I'm having fun. I just make sure I have fun.
Yeah.
And it was so fun doing all that stuff with each other.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. And, you know, I'm always fascinated by sex scenes that are so much more than just what a sex scene usually is. And this sex scene is so important.
That was my first day.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, that was
Your
my
first
day.
feature film, first day, is this all-important sex scene.
Yeah. They were going to do it at the end, but actually we all had this discussion. They're like, we think we should do it first because then we can harness this like nervous energy. And me and Ben had done our preparation. Normally actors swap numbers and get coffee and hang and get to know each other. Me and Ben, we did the opposite of that. We didn't swap numbers. We didn't do anything. We did all of our prep separate. It was like we were all like playing Pac-Man, like avoiding each other.
Wow.
And I think we only saw each other like once for like a couple of hours when we did the read-through and then left. And then we all had these like crazy separate conversations about the scene.
Wow.
But I think we knew that I could. Ben says I put a faith in a lot of people. Like I'm very trusting and very generous, which I am. But I knew like it was placed really right with him. I just have a really good like judgment of character. And I knew he wasn't a dick. I can just tell.
Yeah.
So, and same with Sally and James.
Yeah.
And we rehearsed that scene and we went with the flow. But the way it evolves, it was incredible because we had this nervous energy. And then we did that, the scene, you know, all the parts, the sections of the scene that kind of all come together. And it was beautiful because then like we had like we were crying, like we didn't plan to cry. Like it just, like the thought or the whatever was, thought came in my head and the byproduct was tears, you know? And it was beautiful. And this idea of like looking into each other's eyes or like playing these games. And it was just, I think it was great. And I'm really glad that was my first day on set. It was so fun.
It worked out.
So fun. Like and like you do that and then I'm like, then I immediately come out and I'm like, oh God, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Should we do it again?
Now you can do anything after that.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you can do anything. Yeah. And I think also kind of like the physicality of that, we've bared it on now. Like we've seen each other. I think you kind of get a sense of each other.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work out like that. But, you know, you have to make sure all the safety measures are in place, which is obviously really great. And
exactly.
We had all the correct conversations and like loose rehearsals and things on the day and then went with it.
Can you tell me what about this set and what about the approaches from these directors made all of this easier for you with the way you work?
Yeah. They were really collaborative. Sally and James, I call them my big brother and sister. They are the most phenomenal humans, the most phenomenal people I've ever met. And I'll cry like saying that. And I'll die like saying that. And that's because they were so detailed in their prep. It was incredible. And it's indie filmmaking. Even if you're on a big budget film, where everyone is always pressed for time. And I remember like we would rehearse or like do page turners at their home until like 2-3 o'clock, and they're like, do you want to stay over? And we're like, you have to be on set tomorrow and you have a child. I was like, let me go home. Yeah. And you know, and also because it was both of them, it was like they knew what they wanted. They had everything planned out, as you should, but also like you had different perspectives. So sometimes like Sally would go in my ear, James would go in Ben's ear, and vice versa, and they would have so much to have in the edits. Then when you're pressed for time, they can split the workload and everything works like a incredible like efficiency oiled machine. I thought it was great. It doesn't always work out like that time, but they had worked together multiple times before. So I think that they had their own symbiosis, and that really, really, really spread to everyone because they were a team.
Yeah.
And we all became a team because of them. They steered this ship and they were incredible. Me, Ben, Sally, and James, we just created this bond, and I always say we're the Fantastic Four. Like, it was just like great camaraderie. Like, I could just sit and chat with those three people forever and ever and ever and ever and never get bored. But we just got to know each other so well through this process, and before the process even started. And I think when they all have the right intention, care, and love, like we all came in here being like, we want to make the best movie possible.
Yeah.
And we want everyone to see it.
Yeah. Here's a quote from you. I take myself seriously, but I don't take life seriously.
Yeah.
Tell me what you mean.
So I care about everything I do. And I take you've met me, you understand like when I hold myself accountable for my actions in terms of what I want to do as a creative. But when I put it in the grand scheme of things of life, I don't take anything serious because I want to play. I want to shake my tits and shake my ass, you know, in whatever tempo you want to do it at. But in the sense that like, you know, it's tits and teeth. Like I want to have a good time doing it, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes if you stress too much, like just as much as people say you're manifesting positive energy, you can manifest negative energy. And I do not want to do that. But in the sense that, I take myself serious in the sense that like what I do and what I put out, I'm like really, I want to make sure that I care about it and I'm passionate about it. And I'm not just doing anything for the sake of it. Everything always has like a meaning or intention behind it, whether people need to know it or not. But when it's out there, it's out there. I've learned time after time that things don't go to plan. In my head, I was supposed to be a Disney kid that became pop star, that became this, that, and the other, you know?
Or an astronaut out in some other planet.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But I will go in space, but via a film. I will be doing a space, I will make sure I do a space film. So if someone hearing, I want to do a space film. It would just be an incredible process of imagination. But can you see, like, that's where I take myself serious.
Yeah.
But I don't take myself seriously when I say I want to go to space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why the fuck not? Why not? You know, when I was 21, my friend's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, we were in Greece, and I was like, I want to jump off that cliff into the ocean. Because, God, would that be an incredible experience for you to understand that level of what your body can go through, but what you can learn from how much you can push yourself and what we can give. So the act of not taking it seriously is like a, why not? Or like a, yeah, fuck it kind of attitude.
It's part of the acceptance. It's part of the giving.
Yeah. And that lets everyone involve because, you know.
Yes.
And all, you know, and you can use that in all parts of your life, even when you're not a creative. Like, I think so many people are always trying to find their seat at the table. Honey, people won't even let me like sit at the, you know, as like a dog on the floor, like a lap dog. So why do I want to sit at this table? You know, 'cause I've been talking, but no one wants to listen to what I have to say. They'll steal that idea and not put me in that room, not put me in that space. And that's happened for too long. So I was like, fuck that. I want to work with the people I work with that are going to help me build the table, build the room, and build the chairs and say, that's how I did it. because that's how my parents did it, that's how my grandparents did it, and that's how so many people before me did it, and that is the way to do it.
Jason Patel, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Back to One is a production of Filmmaker Magazine, which is a publication of The Gotham. Listen to back episodes of this podcast at filmmakermagazine.com or wherever you get your podcasts.